This is a vase I picked up at our local supermarket. It wasn't particularly expensive, but the glass is thick enough to let me engrave in it, so I've been adding these little dragonflies, and I have one more to go just about here. Now I have to start by transferring the lines of the design onto the glass just with a fairly rough rat tail bar. I find if I don't do that, then it doesn't seem to matter what I use to draw the lines on with it, they all just come off when you start engraving. So although it takes a little minute to get this done, it's definitely worth doing it. Now I can move on to a larger round bar. I'm using this to block in the main shape of the body here. I'm not engraving deeply at this point, just making sure that the shape's there. Having blocked in the body with that larger bar, I can move on to the smaller one and just begin to tidy up the edges and refine the shape just a little bit. This smaller bar makes it a bit easier to get into some of these little details here. But again, I'm not engraving deeply just at the minute, just tidying up the shape a little bit. And now using that same small round bar, I can start to add in a little bit more detail onto the back of the dragonfly here. Now at this point I am starting to engrave quite deeply, trying to cut down into the glass a little bit, and that will make some of this detail stand out a bit more. Still adding in detail onto the back of the dragonfly now, these little rectangular cell shapes that I think they're formed by overlapping plates on the back of the dragonfly. But again, cutting quite deeply and making sure those shapes will stand out once we get on to the next stage. Now with all of that cut into the glass, it's time to turn off the water dripper, dry off the glass a little bit. And once it's dried, I can come back with this rubber polishing wheel and start going over what I've done so far. This will polish off the higher areas of the glass that I've left behind, and that makes it look a lot darker so that the detail and the shapes stand out much more clearly. Now we can move on to the next stage. I need to show the detail, some of the detail that is in the dragonfly's wing. It's quite a complex structure with lots of very fine veins in it. Now it's just about impossible for me to accurately show every vein that's going to be in a dragonfly's wing, but what I'm trying to get here is an idea of the texture. As you can see, there's quite a lot of detail in here and a lot of very fine work with a very, very small round burr. And that's all 4 wings just about finished, just putting in the last few little lines, showing off these little, almost like little cells in the wing. And that's all 4 of them now all done. Now again, the water dripper's off and I've dried off all the glass, and I'm now going to do something which may seem a bit strange, because having taken all that time to put in all the detail on the wings, I'm now going to start polishing a lot of it out. That's because I want the wings to look translucent, to look as if they're there, but for the light to pass through them. And I don't want all these veins to be just quite so prominent. So in doing this, I'm making the veins disappear a little bit, but hopefully the overall shape and look of the wing will be much more natural. It takes a bit of time and it's a bit fiddly trying to get all this polishing done. So what I've done here is I've changed to a different polishing bit. That should help me maybe get into the edges a little bit, and it also will help to bring the glass up to quite a high shine. And with the wings polished, you can see how the light travels through them. A lot of the detail has been taken away, but you can still see the shape of the wing and you can see some of the structure inside it. Now that that's all done, it's time to come back with this very fine rat tail burr and just start to pick out the last little bits of detail, any little highlights that need to be added, any little fine lines or anything that can make it stand out and pop out of the glass a little bit better. And that's the last dragonfly, all finished, showing up quite nicely on the glass, and the detail with the deeper engraving is kind of popping out of the glass a little bit, the way we want to see it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it, but if you did like it, please click the thumbs up and then I'll know to make some more. Thank you.